It's Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerance in San Diego County today. Glad to have John McCann back. He is the deputy mayor of the city of Chula Vista, and I'm honored to speak with him. In addition to his role as deputy mayor, he served our country in Iraq, and I honor your service.
Thank you.
Could you
it was my honor.
Could you give us a sense of what you did while you were there, and also just what it felt like, sounded like, smelled like? What did you hear and see?
I was in a combat support position, supporting the different units in northern Iraq and Mosul, Iraq. It was made you very much appreciate living in the United States.
Yes.
What they would do is they would mortar us at night, so between 2 and 3 a.m. And they necessarily wouldn't hit people, but they wanted to make sure that we all got up and had to go to the bunkers and get
psychological warfare.
Yeah. So, you know, I think we had done some very good stuff. It's unfortunate that ISIS has gone back and taken over Mosul, but we're going to continue to hope the best.
Give us a sense of who your fellow colleagues were while you were there, some of the other men and women, be it from Chula Vista, San Diego County, California, or throughout the nation.
Well, I was in a individual role. I was actually the only Navy guy on an Army base, and I was there supporting the Army folks.
I see.
So they sent me out to Fort Jackson, gave me Army combat training, and then sent me up to Mosul.
Right.
But it was a great position because I dealt with almost every unit and made sure that we were getting them what they needed.
Now, I understand you weren't the only individual from Chula Vista that served. Many from Chula Vista served.
Correct.
I am so sad to report that 7 did not come home.
Correct.
And Chula Vista is honoring those 7. Tell us about the 7 Chula Vistans that lost their lives.
Yes, what we did was during the Memorial Day weekend, we dedicated 7 streets. We actually had 8 fallen veterans, but
8.
one street was already named after the last name.
Okay, thank you.
And we dedicated the 7 streets after the fallen soldiers that had served in Afghanistan and Iraq.
This is inspiring. I'm actually getting chills right now. I mean, look at this. This is a beautiful sign. It honors, do you know the individual's first name? I don't know the individual's, Idnan.
We know all 7.
Yeah.
And the great thing was this gave a lasting memorial for each one of the members, and it allows everybody who lives in that area to remember that they live in a great country, and these individuals gave their sacrifice so they could live in a better place.
Tell us about some of these folks. I feel as if you know at least the mother of one individual who lost their lives. I don't think you personally knew the others, but I feel like I think you had told me that.
Well, I had known Armida Martinez. She was the mother of Michael Martinez, who was just a great kid, played baseball at our high school, and done just a tremendous amount. But it was interesting because out of the 7 veterans, I would get stopped in the grocery store many times, and people would say, yeah, Wyckoff, I actually went to high school with him.
One of the people.
They would know one of the people that had been a fallen veteran, and they'd have some connection. So many people in Chula Vista had a connection to all 7.
How did this happen? Was it your idea, a collaborative idea?
Well, we were having a new committee. When I had been on the council in 2002, we had another community who had done street signs for fallen veterans from World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. And now we go to the fast forward, we had gone through the global war on terrorism, and I thought it was appropriate to make sure that we continued to honor the fallen soldiers from Iraq and Afghanistan with street sign dedication too.
What does it mean to you that you were able to make this happen, not just as a Chula Vistan, but as a council member, deputy mayor, and as a veteran yourself of the very war in which we are honoring these veterans.
It was very, very special and very emotional. I tend to be a pretty stoic guy.
Right, I understand.
But when we did the dedication and we actually handed a street sign to each one of the families, I got choked up, and
tough.
it was very, very inspiring but sad at the same time.
I want to shift gears and talk about some other remarkable events, developments going on in Chula Vista. We're honoring our veterans, but now we're looking to continue the glory that is Chula Vista, and I want to talk about your Bayfront. For those viewers who are not intimately familiar with the Bayfront, give us a sense of it.
In Chula Vista, we actually are a Bayfront city. Many people don't realize that we are a Bayfront city, but we have a 500-acre master planned People's Bayfront. And within that Bayfront plan, we have hotels, we have housing, we have wildlife preserve, parks, and walking trails.
Let's dig deeply into that, because there is exciting news. Recently, I believe the city of Chula Vista and the Port of San Diego entered into a groundbreaking deal. Explain that deal, who's involved in it, and exactly what would happen as a result.
This was a great thing. This has been a process that's gone on for decades, and we finally were able to make an agreement with the Port District, our city, and a developer, Rita from Houston.
Okay,
to build,
RIDA is the name of the company.
To build a $1 billion hotel.
Billion?
Yes,
with
billion,
a B.
Billion with a B.
Okay.
It's over 1,400 rooms. It will create 3,000 plus jobs for construction, and then 3,000 plus ongoing jobs. So it will change the west side of Chula Vista and the South County, I think, forever.
So that deal's specific to the hotel. But as a result, I assume there are catalytic consequences of that. And is that what you've been discussing? The housing, the retail, the open space? Explain.
So the anchor tenant is the hotel.
Do we know, by the way, when construction begins, when it opens, all that?
We're hoping that we will do groundbreaking in about a year and a half.
Oh, good. Okay, so good.
And that's what we talked about at the meeting with the Port Commission.
And then when it's completed?
We hope that it'll probably be completed in about 4 to 5 years.
Perfect. Okay, so keep going. I cut you off. I apologize.
No, well, it's such an exciting thing.
Right.
You want to know more and more about it, and I hope invite people to learn more, because we have 13 high schools in the South County, and there is no place in Chula Vista for any of those high schools to even have a prom in the city of Chula Vista.
How interesting.
This will be the first place that they'll be able to do it. Chula Vista is a city over 250,000 people, and we are finally now getting the amenities that I believe that our citizens deserve.
Can you leverage the Baja Cali region as a result of all these developments?
We believe that Chula Vista is the center of the economic mega center between San Diego and Tijuana, and we believe that doing this will help us solidify being able to bring both San Diego and regionally from Tijuana much business.
Right, very exciting times indeed. I want to thank you so much for joining us, and thank you for honoring the veterans who sadly lost their lives in Chula Vista. His name is John McCann. He is the Deputy Mayor of the beautiful city of Chula Vista, California. We're in San Diego County today. We thank you so much for joining us on Local Edition.